Hey guys, today I open my IDE to the news of Console Ninja from Wallaby and Coca. So it says you can just console log in your IDE and whatever happens in your browser will just appear right there in your IDE instead of the browser. So usually if you console log something in your code, right, it's going to appear in the browser console. So instead this one appears right there. So I guess it gives you faster feedback. So let's try it out. Right, so here is a component test, and this can be a Cypress component test, Cypress end-to-end test. It can be just the browser. It doesn't make any difference. So, but I like it as a component test, so it's as isolated and as focused as possible, right? So in this test, what's happening is, looks like we are just typing something in here, right? And then making sure this description, all of that populates, right? So that's that. Okay. And we don't even have to do that, right? I can just drive the component like that without even running the test, right? So make sure there's nothing in the console. So let me just save this. Make sure nothing's being locked to the console. Let's just get rid of this one here. Okay. All right. So for sure we don't have anything to the console right now. Okay, good, great. So all it says is that you just, like usual, console log, whatever. So let's say maybe this one. So log is stale. Let's see if that works. Oh yeah, look at that. So I mean, it is there obviously, but the good thing is it is also displaying right here in your console. And so you don't have to look at your console anymore. You can just look at your IDE. So let's do a little more. Let's look at the voice, save, and then yeah, that that object is going to display here bigger. Yeah, it's a long description, but it's basically an array and an object. So we could just have a little more fun, right? So just make it the first element, and then that's going to be a little nicer, right? And then ID like that. So you see the fast feedback, right? Like you don't have to keep looking here. You can just look up here, then move it around as you want, I guess, right? Let's see, these sources, search field. And you don't have to keep clearing console like this, right? Oh, and then as it's typing, it's just populating. Wow, isn't that brilliant? Yeah. See, as you're typing, it's populating. I like it. That's awesome. I search for it. I think this is going to be the same thing here. And then, if you have multiple things, if you want to look at multiple things, I guess that's the biggest advantage because this gets ugly. All right, so let's try array 0. Okay, and name. Yeah, I mean, this is brilliant. I love it. It's so cool. But otherwise, you have to go between your IDE and console all the time because you put it here, right? You look at it in your IDE. So now you can just put it in your IDE. So it doesn't matter if this is just your simple browser. Like you could just open your application, right? You could just show your application right there. I'm not even serving anything right now because I'm running a component test. But imagine you're serving your application and then you can console, you can do this there. You can do it with an end-to-end test, or you can do it with a component test without even having to start your application just itself in there. And yeah, here's something really cool, right? So let's say I'm console logging those things, and I have nothing at the moment, hopefully. Search for 0 name. Let's see. So if I type something, right, and like as I'm typing in here, this is brilliant. Like as I'm typing in the component live, my console logs will be showing. I mean, obviously it's showing here too, but the fact of it kind of like a time traveling experience, the feedback you get right there in the IDE as you're changing things, that's just brilliant, right? You can like debug things so much more quickly. Uh, this is very cool. I mean, you can obviously do it here too, but Uh, this is so much better, faster feedback. I love it. Okay, yeah, try it out. Console Ninja from Wallaby and Coca and other their other tools are amazing too. For instance, Wallaby is when you're doing unit testing, you'll get IDE feedback. Quokka is, and I've seen it, I've shown it many times. Like let's say you just have some plain JavaScript or TypeScript code, it will just work out of the box, right? And then you can try things out real quickly. Like let's say if I have something like this, and then I could just say response data is res data. Right? Let's say I do something like this, right? And then immediately I could just do something like this and get immediate feedback, right? And then it will show me, hey, if there was an error, it will show me. And otherwise, as I update the code, it will just give me instant feedback, which is just, it exponentially accelerates the way you work with things. And in this example, it's just making things faster. Instead of logging in the browser, it will just log directly in your IDE, which is awesome. All right, that was all. Enjoy.